Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in for another episode of this wrestling podcast right here. We are your hosts, Beby, Carnage, and Stu. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. And we are fresh off the heels of a pretty good, in my opinion, Royal Rumble 2023 Royal Rumble match.
I think I'd emphasize pretty.
Pretty, okay.
I'd emphasize on the pretty good.
A pretty good Royal Rumble, in my opinion. And we figured we do, while we can, and while it's fresh, do a quick Royal Rumble recap. So here we are. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I guess we should just kind of go in the order of the event itself, which that in itself was surprising, actually. You wouldn't expect this. Yeah, it did. I did not expect this to happen, but the men's Royal Rumble match actually opened the show, and the number one and number two participants there, Gunther and Sheamus, drawing number 1 and 2. And
I have to stop you there. Okay. We are missing one thing. We're missing something.
Go ahead.
The return of Pat McAfee.
Oh, you're right. Pat came back, and that was kind of exciting. You think he's back like full time, or just like a special spot? I'm guessing he's back properly now, right? He's been away for some time, so I'm guessing like this was the right time for him to come back, and I hope he's back full time because I really like him. He is quite good, and obviously the crowd loved him. He came out, everyone's happy, everyone's cheering. He's a great fit.
He nearly did fall off the chair when he was climbing on top of the chair. There was a brief moment there where he nearly did like completely stack it and fall. But...
And I think him and Cole are like real life good friends.
Yeah, I think they work well together, and you know what? I'm gonna say I do not like Corey Graves.
Really?
I just don't. Some of the things he come out with is just a bit questionable.
Really, I kind of don't mind him. I don't really have an opinion either way. I think he's fine. I think he's done very well. And
which one was Corey Graves?
He's like the tattooed guy. Like
okay, yeah.
Yes.
Is he the one who kept saying champion all night?
I don't know. Who said champion.
I think he might have said champion.
Was it him? He kept saying champion.
Was it Corey as well? Who we're going to skip forward a little bit here, but was he the one who referenced Raquel Rodriguez to being related to 40% of Texas?
I think so. We'll talk about that later. Yeah. So anywho, Pat came back. You are right, and the crowd went wild. He joined Michael Cole and Corey Graves for the remainder of the event. And he did a great job. And I didn't realize how much I missed Pat. He just brings a certain excitement to the show because he's commentating a lot as a fan, right?
Exactly. I think that's what's good about him and Cole is you got to look at Cole, and Cole is so experienced with wrestling. And he gives like the kind of the stats or like kind of the serious kind of side of wrestling, where Pat's, like you say, like there as the fan. So you can bring that energy to the commentary.
I think you're right. Now, moving on to the men's Royal Rumble match, though.
Yes.
As we were just talking about.
Started with the men's this year.
We did, which was surprising because you guys know, well, Carnage knows. I sent Carnage a big ol' DM. Now, I stay off most forum posts and stuff like that during this season because I don't want to get hit with any spoilers. But I had messaged Carnage. I said, okay, here's how I think it's going to work out. I think... And this is all assuming men's Royal Rumble was the main event, which it was not. But I said, you know what? I think Cody Rhodes is going to be number 1 or 2. They're going to give him full entrance, everything like that he wants. It's going to be a great moment for the crowd. He's going to make it all the way to the final 4 and get eliminated by Sami Zayn. But as we find out, none of that happened. Not even close. So Gunther and Sheamus draw number 1 and number 2. And Gunther actually very impressive throughout the entire
for a while.
He did. He was final 2.
An hour and 11 minutes. Yeah. An hour and 11 minutes. He was in the Rumble.
The longest Royal Rumble contestant.
Yeah, I think he broke that record.
I guess. Yeah.
I think he beat Rey Mysterio's. I think he beat Rey Mysterio's record. Actually,
you watched that as well. Like there was not really a great deal of breaks he really had. He was like he was in a lot of that for a long time. Yeah,
he is absolute. I love him. I think he's great.
That's a great push for him.
I was kind of hoping he might eliminate Brock Lesnar later on, but he didn't kind of set up maybe an intercontinental match between Brock and Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been really, really cool, but it looks like they might want to keep pushing the Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar storyline a little bit, which is nice. I'm not mad at it.
I mean, I wouldn't totally be against a triple threat with Gunther, Lashley, Lesnar as well. I think that'd be quite a good matchup to see.
I don't know that the ring can hold that.
It would be a good match, but I don't know if Gunther comes out of that alive, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. I don't know, though. Gunther's good.
So moving past number 2, we had then The Miz, we had Kofi Kingston, Johnny Gargano, Xavier Woods.
We had mentioned it. It seems like they botched Kofi's.
They did.
Yeah.
It's not seems like. It was botched. Yeah. So every year, for those who don't know, Kofi Kingston always has a spot in the Royal Rumble match where it's just kind of an insane save. Part where he should have been eliminated, but he saves himself, and somehow he makes it back into the ring. Well, for the past, I think 2 years.
2 years, yeah. He fucked last year as well.
Yeah, past 2 years, it has not gone as planned. This year, he tried to basically land on a chair, on an office chair, standard office chair, and it just looked like he missed, maybe a little bit off target, and got eliminated. Yeah,
but there was some like question marks around. I was like, is he eliminated? Is he not? And then nothing else was said. It was just like,
I think they were just like, are we going to eliminate him? We're both feet on the ground. What do we do here? And I think they made the right call. Just
definitely, he's not going to win the Rumble, so like, there's no point in like making like a big thing out of it. And just like, yeah, you're eliminated. You're done.
The referees are looking back like, dude, we all saw his feet.
The smart thing to do,
there's a thing called the internet now. We can't get away with this shit.
Yeah, unless it was very obvious that his feet did not touch the ground. There's no reason to even try. But moving on here, then it came down. So Xavier Woods at number 6, Karrion Kross at number 7, Gable, Drew McIntyre, Santos Escobar, Brock came in at number 12, Lashley at 13.
By the way, Brock, I think at one point he did 4 suplexes in a row, one of which was an elimination.
He did eliminate Santos Escobar, which was terrifying.
Yeah, he catches him coming off the top rope and then just fucking launches him back over his head out of the ring.
Yeah, the elimination on Santos Escobar.
Thought we might have seen a murder.
Yeah, that was a little scary to see.
I think there was a women's eliminations that was scarier than that from the top rope. I can't remember which 2 wrestlers it was, but
I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. But no, I thought that Brock Lesnar, I think he might be talking about the Santos Escobar, and that one was a little terrifying. I thought, like you said, there might have been an injury on hand, but I guess it worked out.
Hey, it's crazy though, because Brock was only in the Rumble for 2 minutes and 28 seconds, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is, especially since he won last year, did he not?
He came out as number 30. Yeah, won it, didn't he?
Yeah, 2022, just cleaned house, won, and went on to WrestleMania. This time, Bobby Lashley beats him. So they already had one match, Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, right? They at what's that event called? Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel.
Mm-hmm. Are they gonna do it again at Mania? I don't know. I mean, they can. Like I said, not mad at it.
I just know that they need to sell it, because I'm not overly sold on it quite yet. They just need to build it. I think if they done Brock going as a babyface, I think that would be the better.
No
option.
way.
No, I'd love to see. I love Brock. I love Brock as a babyface.
Can he be a face at this point?
He
though?
Can. He can crack jokes. He can be that guy. He can do it.
Bobby. The way he says Bobby Lashley is like Bobby. And then so moving on here, Baron Corbin, Seth Rollins, Otis at 16.
Corbin, his was so funny because Brock had been eliminated already.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin comes out, and then Brock just beats his ass in the in the walkway for a little while, which was pretty good.
And then I think Rollins finally enters Corbin, and then within 7 seconds, Corbin is gone.
Yeah, Corbin's gone. And this is why I love wrestlers like Corbin, people who are willing to just get embarrassed for the sake of
what's best for business, right?
Best for business, being funny, being remembered.
I would love to be, and I think the term is a jackass. I would love to be a jackass or the donkey in these kind of things. Just the straight comedic relief. Love me, hate me, whatever, laugh at me. At least I'm, it seems fun. I'm out there just having a great time.
He's been on a hell of a giant journey as well with his like whole kind of happy Corbin,
sad
and then obviously the
Corbin,
sad one, and then just now this with JBL.
And I mean, me personally, you guys know it. I love it when someone's just such a big heel, and they just for the pure fact that they are doing it just to build up other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Get their ass beat, so on and so forth, and then just get embarrassed. And I think that's great. And kudos to him for doing that, getting beat up by Brock and then swiftly eliminated. Rey Mysterio, number 17, didn't show up
of the Rumble.
So the rules.
This Rumble's still going.
So, like I said, I typically stay off the internet and stuff like that. However, I did after this Royal Rumble event, I did go on and I did read stuff, and some stuff made me upset. But so apparently one of the rules, unwritten rules or something of the Royal Rumble is if the participant does not come out before the other participant comes out, then that first participant is eliminated. So in this case, Rey Mysterio did not come out. Dominic came out, and once Dominic did and entered the match, Rey Mysterio was eliminated.
DQ'd, yeah.
I'm guessing, is there an injury of Rey? That's why he wasn't there?
So that is what I heard, that on Friday Night SmackDown, he did get injured in his match against Karrion Kross. And he couldn't show up.
Makes sense.
Yes. So
yeah.
Is what it is. So Rey Mysterio eliminated. Let's see. Dominic coming in number 18. That was he had a good little run in there. I like everything Dominic's doing. I think it's great. I think he's playing up the heel position.
Oh yeah.
Amazingly. I cannot wait to see more. Let's see.
Him coming out holding his dad's mask was a pretty neat
had trouble breaking it.
Touch.
His little tear tattoo. Oh my gosh, his little tear tattoo is so funny every time.
Well, yeah, what they're doing with Dominic is incredible. I think they're pushing him really well.
Are you willing to be embarrassed and be like the joke, right? And that's what he's doing. He's just going out there. It's one of those. Sometimes comedians do it a lot, right? Like when they're filming a TV show and it's a lot of improv. It's like, can they just make their friends laugh? That's like their only goal.
Oh yeah.
And he's just going in. And a lot of wrestlers, the ones that I like, do that a lot. They're just trying to make people laugh at how silly, and it's great.
And it's working. They're doing a real good job with it.
I agree. It is working. Number 19, Elias. Then we go on to Finn Balor. Booker T at number 21, and we'll see that he is the one of the, I guess, surprise entrance into the Royal Rumble. They
didn't do anything with it though.
So he did a Spinneroonie. Listen, I like Booker T. I didn't like this pick. I think he had his moment to shine. It was in 2015 or something like that when he came in and surprised everybody. It's Booker T. We haven't seen him in forever. But now Booker T is part of the company. And I felt like it was a wasted spot.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to see him, though. It is nice to see him. It is a wasted spot.
Absolutely it is. But I think I would have rather have had a different, I guess, quote unquote, legend come in. Or if you want to get really specific about it, I mean, again, reading online, you find out that this is the first Royal Rumble that Dolph Ziggler hasn't been in for 14 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So
we'd been talking about, like, what if they got Billy Gunn, and I think that would be one of the fucking.
Yeah, but with him currently being under contract, I can see why that wouldn't be the case. But literally anyone. I mean, just a surprise entrant. Though I will say with that contract thing that they could always make a difference or change it because Mickie James.
Yes, I was going to say last year.
Yeah, she was part of the Royal Rumble and she was under contract.
She even brought the belt with her, didn't she?
She did.
Was that the Impact belt?
That was a big moment that is not talked about enough. That when she showed up, and then they addressed her as the champion, right? So
yes, they made it like fully aware, like, she's not from here. She's from the other side of the door.
Yep.
Yeah. And then so Booker T comes in, does a Spinneroonie, eventually gets eliminated. Good for you, Book. Damian Priest, let's see, Montez Ford, Edge comes back. We see the return of Edge at number 24. That was exciting. His gear was interesting. It was nice yellow, but it was exciting to see him back. I told Carnage, I kind of figured he would come back. It could be Edge, and sure enough, it was Edge. And he didn't have that big of a moment, I guess, but it looks like he's going to start feuding with the Judgment Day yet again. Austin Theory, Omos coming in. Braun Strowman, 27, the coveted 27 spot. Ricochet, surprise number 2. Logan Paul coming in at 29. And having listen, we all
a good spot.
Don't
it was
like
a good
none of us
spot.
like Logan Paul, but man, can he wrestle? He is so good.
He is so naturally gifted at this.
He is so good. I wish he could just stay out of trouble. Stop trying to sell things. You're making enough money as it is.
Well, that's
stay out of trouble.
He's not actually selling anything.
Stay out of trouble. Don't try to sell your NFTs, your crypto zoos. Keep it to yourself, and just do you. And man, but he is so good. He is so good in the ring.
If he dropped everything, like social media side of things, like, do you know what? I'm going to focus WWE, and that's going to be my one thing. I think he could go really far in the WWE.
I agree.
If he made it his soul project.
He's good.
He's good. I think the problem Logan Paul has is it's a hobby, and which is not a problem to have. But I think that he has leveraged the thing that made him famous, which is being a piece of shit online, into getting into the WWE, and that is this is not his focus. His focus is always going to be being a piece of shit online.
The only thing that worries me with Paul is obviously he's going to keep making these appearances, and it might start to get a bit old. Just like, oh, Logan's here. So I'm thinking that's why they're giving him these special spots to keep his entrances to like the rings interesting. But how far can they go? How long can you keep coming up with new things to kind of keep the crowd pleased before you're like, oh yeah, we've seen this one before? Or...
The big thing there too is I'm curious, what kind of is okay. So I live near Columbus, Georgia. In a week or so, there's going to be a Road to WrestleMania event, untelevised, total dark match, house show. Probably going to be a good time. Is Logan Paul doing those? Is he road dogging it all,
Absolutely,
or is he
just?
Not. I hate that.
Absolutely not. I don't hate it. I don't hate it because he's not a trained wrestler. He can't do this, or that's not fair. He is a trained wrestler, but he's not at the point, I don't think, where he can do it every single day like some of the professionals, those who have done it for years and years and years, have done it, right? I think that would be dangerous if he did that, especially with the spots that he does.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he would be after a week, have to recover for months.
And like credit to him as well. Like dude blew out his knee in his last match.
Yeah. My only concern with that is that it's true. He's not in the development stage, you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, we're just giving him these huge spots to pop. Yeah. And it's old school thinking. To me, it feels like he's not paying his dues, I guess is the best way to put it. But
I mean, I think that's fair until you get in the ring and you do some amazing stuff. He's only had great matches. And now it's like, all right, you know what? Your dues are paid. And he has hurt himself plenty of times. Now, whether or not he blew out his knee or whether or not those were exaggerated injuries is yet to be seen. I think they were because, well, he's back 3 months later. Unless he's on some kind of healthcare plan that no one can imagine. But I think Logan Paul is doing a great job. I think he had a great spot in the Royal Rumble where he and Ricochet collided midair.
Yeah. Wow.
One of the top spots of the night.
And that could have gone wrong very easily.
Yeah. It really could have
just nailed it. But they nailed it perfectly. They couldn't have made it any better.
And then the buckshot lariat that he does.
Oh,
chef's kiss.
So good.
It is
could even
so
say
good.
Best in the business.
Possibly. I mean, he does it very well. And, you know, there's some who can't do it at all, who can't even do the flip. So congrats to him. And then
credit's Logan Paul.
Last here, and not a surprise, number 30. What is a surprise is what number they gave him, but number 30, like Cody Rhodes coming in at number 30 and eventually
I hate it.
Winning the Royal Rumble. You hate it?
Yep. We knew he was going to be in the Rumble, so as soon as Logan came out 29, we knew straight away that Rhodes was going to be 30.
That's 30.
So there was like no surprise element, where I think if they'd have just gave him like a 4 or maybe a 6 or just a random number, which, you know, even a potential number that hasn't won the Rumble yet, people would start to question, okay, well, no one's won this Rumble yet. Like, can Rhodes do it? But bring him in as number 30, it's like, okay, right, yeah, I guess he's gonna win it now.
So,
which I don't hate. I don't hate it. I'm happy that Rhodes won, but I think they could have done it more. Like, they could have put more imagination and thought out of the box with it.
So I find myself not really being too upset that Sami Zayn was not in the Royal Rumble. You know, it is what it is. But the choice of having Cody Rhodes coming out number 30 is questionable, because I still think he would have benefited from a 1 or 2 slot, have his full entrance, get the crowd excited, and then have the match go on. And he hangs out until the end. Though, I guess it could be taken as, oh, of course Cody's still in there. Yeah, he's just going to win it. That type of thing. So he could have possibly been booed. Maybe. I don't know. He might be too over to get booed.
Being careful because he's just come back from injury.
Also another possibility. I don't know. Just number 30 seems weird. Only because they announced that he was coming to the Rumble.
They shouldn't have announced it.
Our surprises
announced, then yeah.
Our surprise entrances overrated.
It depends who the wrestler is.
Yes. I think
because there's a certain wrestler that came in the other Rumble who was a surprise entrance, and yeah, we'll get to that.
I think they should not have announced Cody Rhodes.
No, definitely not.
And they should have just let him pop, get the audience going. I mean, they did anyways. But that's just me.
It was a good Rumble. It was a good Rumble.
That's from me commenting from my office chair, right? So it was still good. It was still good. It was a good time. I really honestly thought Gunther was gonna win.
Yeah, I was hoping. I was pulling for Gunther so hard.
As soon as we got down to the final 2, I was like, wait a second, hold up, this could actually happen.
They done that. They done that so well, because like you thought, well, Cody's gonna win it, right? But then you're thinking, wait, could Gunther do this? Like, you start questioning it, even though you really think, okay, this should be Cody's, but you do start to question yourself. So it wasn't completely predictable, but it's definitely a little bit. But I don't know. I just question, like, if this exact event, everything that happened in the Men's Royal Rumble happened at the main event, would people be praising it, or would people be absolutely outraged because Sami didn't turn up?
And I guess we'll never know. I think they did a lot of the things they did to kind of take the focus off of Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Because you don't want another situation in, 2014 which is the Rumble that we saw together?
Daniel Bryan, 2015?
2015, where they're just chanting Daniel Bryan the entire time and sabotaging the entire Rumble. And I think, you know, taking a step back and looking at the Rumble, they did a really nice job of not having the fans turn on the event. So with that being said, Cody Rhodes, in this case, with the picks that we have here, the wrestlers that came out, he was the right choice, without a doubt. He'll face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's what he wins. You know, winning the Royal Rumble allows you a shot at the championship at WrestleMania. How that'll be pulled off, we don't know just yet, because we've got the Sami Zayn bloodline storyline as well. We've also got Roman Reigns with 2 titles. Yep. So do they split them? 2 nights of Mania. Do they split them? Do they keep it as undisputed? We'll only time will tell. I mean, I am genuinely curious as to how they're going to handle the Sami Zayn dilemma.
But I suppose we'll get more into that later.
Yes, when we get to the main event. But next up here.
Oh, can I just interject? Sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
I think that's something that I think that it was beautiful. Like, I wish I see this at every premium live event now. Was just the fireworks outside the stadium. Can we just take a moment to appreciate those 10 out of 10 totally real fireworks?
Completely real fireworks.
I cannot believe they did that. Are they trying to save money? Do they not have the money to just buy the fireworks? Or maybe, okay, if there is a environmental reason, I get it.
It could be that.
Because I don't know the environmental impact of fireworks, and I am very big into being environmentally friendly. So if there's an environmental reason as to why they did that, okay, you did what you did.
I'm guessing it's more cost cutting, though.
If it's just cost cutting, then how dare you? Because it did not look good. It did not look like a $1 billion company, you know, having fireworks go off at the end of the night around the building.
It's not even just once. They kept doing it.
They kept doing it.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Make the call to be like, you know what? We're done with this.
Oh, dear.
So the very next match, one that I was excited for, Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight in a pitch black match. Brought to you by Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
Mountain Dew Pitch Black. Do the dew. Do the dark.
And what a... So I like Bray Wyatt a lot. I love LA Knight, formerly known as, Eli Drake in the Indies. And this match, I keep trying to convince myself that it was good, but I can't. I can't do that. It was kind of awkward, and I got to wonder if they ran out of time and said, hey, guys, you have to get to the end, and you have to get to the final spot. Because obviously they can't.
Yeah.
At post-match, so what I'm talking about here is post-match, you did see Uncle Howdy come out and basically give LA Knight an elbow drop from 15 feet up in the air and going through what is likely to be a crash pad, but going through and giving him an elbow, and then the fire erupts around this area.
Sending him to hell.
And Bray is standing there, all evil-like. And like I said, I think they must have ran out of time.
I think they did that. To have that match only be 5 minutes,
was it 5?
Out of time. Yeah, 5 minutes was the match, not including the post-match stuff. Just the match itself was 5 minutes.
Wow, they must have ran out of
time. Definitely.
And I think this is a trend we're gonna see as we continue talking about the Royal Rumble. Is the matches in between? Are dare I say lackluster? By the way, go ahead.
It seemed like for that match, Mountain Dew was just like, look, everything's gonna be dark, make it fucking flashy, because there was dark, there was black lights everywhere.
So
lots of
that's what I was going to talk about, was pitch black. By what we mean by pitch black, and what they mean by pitch black, is basically everyone was glow in the dark. It was what are they called, black lights?
Yeah,
all everywhere in the entire arena. So LA Knight came out in yellow gear, and it showed up as like a neon yellow when the lights were off. And Bray Wyatt had some invisible paint that you can only see under the black light. He actually looks pretty cool.
I think he looked incredible.
Well,
it's a cool look.
Loved it.
It is, and it's everything was great. And man, it's just what a disappointing match. I mean,
it was
Bray
just
Wyatt
a sponsored
won.
match, wasn't it? Like, it didn't really offer anything different. It was just like, here we go. Here's a sponsorship. Now just make it a hardcore match, and we'll give you money for this.
That is all it was.
It didn't change anything. It didn't. There was no different stipulations of the match. It was just, here you are. Cover yourself in glow in the dark paint, and off you go.
I was kind of hoping for a pre-recorded match.
That would have been cool.
Just go COVID era pre-recorded match. That way Bray Wyatt could do a lot of weird stuff. I think it would have been a cool time. But
I don't think the crowd were too good in that. Like, for Bray's entrance, I think Bray deserves so much more. Watching it back, the crowd weren't like. I mean, the fireflies and stuff, that was all there, but I don't know, just kind of reaction-wise, there wasn't much.
Well, you do have to realize that they kind of went through all of their energy with the Royal Rumble that just happened.
No, screw them. They should be saving energy.
And as someone who has been in the audience, you do actually get exhausted.
Oh yeah,
when you're
fatigue, of course.
There is big time fatigue, and you do need to take a break every once in a while. Which again, and then that means the placement of this match. That's very interesting. The second match on the card, right after a big men's Royal Rumble match, where everyone's cheering, going crazy for Cody Rhodes, and then you have Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. Just very disappointing. A build up lasted for months to kind of end with a whimper. 5-minute match. I mean, if I was, I don't know. I kind of look at this and say, well, of course that's what happened.
But I don't think it was the only cut of the night. I think there was another cut, which would have been the next match.
There are, and that next match was the Raw Women's Championship match, where Bianca Belair, the current champion, took on Alexa Bliss.
This match, 7 minutes and 35 seconds.
Wow.
100% cuts. 100%.
So the match is probably a little bit better than the Bray Wyatt and LA Knight match, but still, again, another one that ended on a whimper. I felt like... Go ahead.
In my notes, I just put this match of under like reaction. I just put meh.
Yeah, I mean, there was no Alexa Bliss was not going to win.
No, it was pretty obvious that Bianca would win.
This match felt like a match to continue a storyline, and I personally hate it when like this is something that should have happened on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And then we should have gotten the payoff for the storyline at the Royal Rumble, but instead it seems like the Royal Rumble was just another chapter, another page turner.
Like obviously Alexa ends up losing. Like we don't see any of the Uncle Howdy stuff or the White Six during the match, so which kind of pushes me to believe like, okay, this was just Alexa fighting normally, so she's not strong enough to beat Bianca when she's just Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
But like just rolling the tape at the end, like no. I think if they switched the Bray Wyatt and Bianca Belair match around and then had an actual visual of the White Six or Uncle Howdy before he kind of destroyed himself in the Bray Wyatt match, I think that'd have been better instead of just rolling a tape at the end of the match. Personally, that's just my opinion. I think it's lazy just having a tape.
Well, Belair beats Bliss via pinfall, retains the championship after a KOD that everyone was kind of surprised to see it because we were kind of thinking, wow, is this already going to end? And it did. It started, it ended. There was a video package after the fact, as you have mentioned. And then they moved on with their lives. Again, the matches in between the Royal Rumbles themselves are just they're just lackluster. They are lackluster matches in my opinion. There was nothing really gripping about them. I feel bad because everyone ran out of time, or at least it seems like they did. And I actually think it was kind of also necessary because Royal Rumble lasted until almost midnight.
Yeah, this was 5:20 a.m. for me. Yeah. I think it was
a long event. So maybe something needs to change in the future where they're like, okay, we're going to have 2 Royal Rumble matches and then maybe 2 matches that like maybe a 4-match card. Maybe don't try to shove 5 matches onto it.
Hey, this is WWE. They might even be trying to think. I tell you what, let's do it for 2 nights. Over 2
night Rumble event. The first 15 entrants are coming out night 1, and then the second.
They have to wait 15. In the ring.
Yeah, that's way. So next up, there, after that championship match, we have the women's Royal Rumble match. Now, I had a good time with this one. I always enjoy the women's Royal Rumble match, but the number 1 and number 2 slots. Number 1 was Rhea Ripley. Number 2 was Liv Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Big
picks. 2 people who had a feud in the past. And 2 people that, well, let's just spoil it a little bit here. They lasted until the end.
Yep.
Final 2.
But we had some good entrances here. So Dana Brooke, Emma, Shayna Baszler. I like Shayna a lot. Bayley coming out, first member of Damage Control. B-Fab was actually the first person eliminated, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yep. Bayley got it seemed like Bayley got a pop when she came out. People were pretty into that.
Possibly. I really didn't hear.
I think Damage Control are doing some good work at the minute. I think they're building themselves up as such good heels, and I really like their kind of the angle they're going with.
It's kind of funny. She did kind of like a skipping gallop all the way down, and I was just like, man, I'd be so tired.
Like that was Bianca.
Bayley did one too,
possibly. I don't remember.
I think she did because she stole some kid's sign, I think. If my memory serves me correctly.
So B-Fab is the first person eliminated there, and then number 8, the first surprise entrant, Roxanne Perez, coming from NXT. Nobody, though, in the chat that I was watching with knew who she was. But she is on the NXT brand, and she is currently the NXT Women's Champion, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. I haven't watched NXT recently. I believe, yeah, but she is the current NXT Women's Champion. She is quite good. She's very young.
She was given more time, though. She only had 4.5 minutes. I wish they kind of pushed her just a little bit more.
Really? 4.5?
10 minutes at least.
She is
only 4.
She is quite good. She is Booker T's favorite. She's like a prodigy, according to him. She's only 21 years old.
Crazy.
So a long career ahead of her, and she had, I think, a pretty good showing there. But that was the first surprise entrant. Next up, we had Dakota Kai and Io Sky to bring out the rest of Damage Control. They had a good run. Natalia, this was a surprise to me because I haven't seen Natalia in quite some time. And I'm going to be a little bit mean here. I forgot that she wrestles. I
think like Natalia at this point in her career, like she's just there to, like, I think help get people over, I guess. Like she's never going to win a title again. She's just like the veteran now. I think she's just there to, like, if someone wants to go over there, just put her up against Natalia, or if they don't know what to do with the wrestler, just have her face off against Natalia, or put her in a tag team with Natalia. It's a shame, but
it is. She had an okay run. Candice LeRae coming out next, and then probably my favorite. No, I wouldn't say my favorite pick, but someone that I really enjoyed in this Rumble who made a big splash, in my opinion, was Zoe Stark coming in at number 13.
What's crazy about Zoe is she was in the Rumble for 26 minutes, but did not eliminate anyone.
Wow. That's not great, but she did look good in the match itself. And I think she, after a little bit of, maybe a little bit more work, but I think I could see her coming to the main roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, she can wrestle, and I've seen her in NXT, and she's done great. So very excited to see that. Xia Li coming in at 14 with kind of a strange look.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure. Now, was her look, is this how she's currently, because I haven't seen her on TV recently either. Was this specifically for Street Fighter, or was this just her thing?
I think this is her gimmick now, like type thing. But this gives me like 1990s Vince McMahon kind of stereotypical Asian kind of.
I mean, it was cool. Gimmick. I liked it.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I was not expecting it. Number 15, Becky Lynch, a favorite.
Wow.
At number 15, 16, Tegan Nox, and then number 17, the surprise.
Yes.
One of the surprises, I should say. Asuka coming back to her old...
Not even coming back. She came back as Kana, the fucking murder clown. I don't know if you picked up on it when she came out. When she came out, I don't know if you heard this when she entered the ring, but the crowd were totally behind it. They were singing like, oh, it was just fucking brilliant. Well, they're singing to Bailey. I think they're singing like, Kana's gonna kill you. It's just so good. I love it that she's come back, and I really hope that she kind of runs with this kind of heel version of herself now, like she did prior to like the whole Asuka run. But I don't know, with Asuka, if she runs as a heel, I still think the crowd gets behind her, because I know I will. I'll be totally behind her as a heel run.
I feel like Carnage, because of what we're going to talk about in a minute, this was your own personal like monkey's paw, where you're like, I wish Asuka would come back, and then the monkey paw curled. You know what I mean? The finger curled, and it was like, okay, but
I, for one, very excited to see Asuka back. My favorite. So not only my favorite women's wrestler, but in terms of top 5 favorite wrestlers, Asuka is on that list. I think she is great. I think she's always been great. I've been following her since she came to WWE, and I am still upset that Asuka lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania to this day.
To end her streak?
To end her streak. That still 100%. Upsets me to this day. To this day, I will not get over it. What were they thinking? If there's one thing we could rewind time and change, it would be that.
Probably also Undertaker losing to Brock Lesnar, but
no, that's fine. Number 18, Piper Niven, no longer dual drop.
Yes,
thank goodness. What an awful name that was. Coming back as Piper Niven, and had a great showing at that. Yeah. I am ready for Piper to kind of have a role in the division again.
Well, she got 2 eliminations. She's in the Rumble for 28 minutes, so very good.
Something like that, yeah. And I remember watching her in the Indies as well a little bit and being like, oh, this is kind of cool. I like this person. I can see her in WWE. And then all of a sudden she was months later. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. And big fan. I'm a big fan of Piper Niven. I hope only good things. I think she's a great wrestler, a great worker. And I think we haven't seen not even a fraction of what she can do in the ring. So hopefully 2023 is her year. Number 19, Tamina.
Number 20.
Number 20. So the big actual surprise entrant. Well, then it's funny because the women's Royal Rumble had more surprises than the men's, but someone that I didn't see this coming, Chelsea Green. I guess maybe signing with the company, perhaps. Who knows? Chelsea Green coming in, getting eliminated very quickly. Yeah, very quickly.
5 seconds.
So this goes back to me having respect for wrestlers who are willing to just get embarrassed. So she got eliminated, what, in 7 seconds or something? Something very quick.
5 seconds.
5 seconds. Okay, so she gets eliminated after being like, I'm going to come into the Royal Rumble and I'm going to win and I'm going to eliminate everybody and you all suck, blah, blah, which is hilarious. Gets eliminated right away. And then she's done, right? So she gets the pop from, coming in, surprising everybody, gets all the heat, and then gets eliminated. But the payoff is that now, whenever they talk about the Royal Rumble every year and they do their statistics, I'm going to say, and the wrestler with the shortest run in the Royal Rumble, Chelsea Green. So she's always going to be part of basically of history unless someone beats her record.
Yeah.
But she's willing to embarrass herself, and I love it. So we'll see if she's signed. I'm not sure if she is.
What I think is funny about that particular record is we've seen other instances where people have tried to break the speed, fucking Royal Rumble
Titus
2015 any percent speed run, and then they botch it, and they're like, oh, almost, sorry, now you just suck at getting eliminated on time.
Yeah, I think Titus O'Neil was the one who, the last one I recall, it was 2015, like you said, Carnage, and they're trying to, and he couldn't. Yeah, he had one job, and he just could not get over the rope. So Chelsea Green, number 21, Zelina Vega, coming out and sponsoring Street Fighter 6 in a kind of cool outfit.
Was cool.
I thought it was cool, and had a pretty good run. Her elimination was a little tough to watch. Number 22, hometown favorite, Raquel Rodriguez, and this was actually also my pick to win the entire thing. I have been a big fan of Raquel since NXT. I think she's great. I think she's great in the ring, and I think putting a title on her would not be a terrible idea. Definitely. She's just a natural, good guy. She has that good guy vibe, and I think she would have been a great.
See what she does in a year or two. See what this, if as long as they don't give up on her and they keep kind of pushing her in the right direction, it'd be very interesting to see where she's at.
The thing is, the women's divisions is becoming almost saturated. There's so many people that need to be pushed. And so I hope she doesn't get lost in the mix.
What I think is, it's a good sign of where we're at societally and within the wrestling fandom that's happening. Just because I know, again, growing up, that was not something you'd have seen.
Do they need another women's title? Because they've got 2 main titles. Do they have an intercontinental title, but for the women, to have someone who can
mid-card title,
hold that belt? Yeah, I think they should bring it, because, like you said, that the women's kind of locker room is getting very full and love top wrestlers, and there's only 2 spots where people can hold the title. So I think
that'd be a great idea. And so let's just talk fan fiction booking real quick, or fantasy booking. Introduce a mid-card title, have it be wrestled for at WrestleMania, maybe do an 8-woman ladder match or something, and have it start the show. Yeah, that'd be big. Have a women's match starting the show.
New, right?
Yeah, and
new title,
and have them go for it, and then give it to Raquel Rodriguez. Make everyone happy right away, and then you can do whatever you want, whatever shenanigans at the end of the night.
If you listen, Hunter, this is what you need to do, my friend.
If he's listening, he's going to do the complete opposite of everything I said, because apparently everything I said was wrong. So number 23, Mia Yim comes out. Lacey Evans at 24. I used to be a fan of Lacey, not so much anymore, mainly because of her social media presence. Not a big fan, and I really don't know what they're trying to do with her, to be quite honest, but whatever. Number 25, Michelle McCool coming in from the audience.
Like
This
she's
was good.
like, that was such a good spot. It's just like, well, where is she? And she's like, oh, mate, what? Huh? And then she just like stands up from behind the announcer's table. Is like, okay, like hands her husband her purse.
Well, her husband wasn't there because her husband's the Undertaker.
No, but like that kind of active. It was almost
hold my beer.
Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot I'm doing this today.
It was cool though, because before the Rumble, like she was very active on like social media. Like, oh no, I didn't get the invite. I'm not going to be there. Like, I don't understand why. This is in my home, like my kind of city where I live. I'm super close. Like, so that was kind of a good, like, kind of they threw it off a little bit with that.
And she was wrestling in Uggs.
Yeah. Jeez.
Listen, if you're gonna be in there getting your ass kicked, you need to be comfortable.
I think Michelle McCool was underrated during her time in WWE.
Very much so.
And I think if she actually wanted to, which she probably doesn't, but if she actually wanted to, she could probably have a great run right now. She's probably one of the few that could still have a great run in the company and be formidable. But I think she was really underrated, and it's not really her fault. It was just the state of the division at that point.
Yeah, at that point they were pushing. Yeah,
different things.
They were pushing, different things.
Number 26, Indy Hartwell coming out. I had more hope for Indy. I don't know why it seems like they're cooling off of Indy Hartwell and indie wrestling in general. And I don't know why. I think I thought she was going to be on the main roster by now, to be quite honest. Now,
again, Stu, is it because the main roster's too stacked?
Possibly. Stu, if you don't know, Indy Hartwell, back in NXT when Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis and Candice LeRae were there, they were all basically like, they had this gimmick as like a family. And so they were just one big family. It was them. And then like Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis got married. And then they had this big old thing.
Suddenly the family dynamic was a little bit weird.
Well, it wasn't like that kind of family. It was just like they weren't like siblings. But and then so she had her thing as like Indy. So her first name's Indy, and so they would do Johnny wrestling is like his thing. Well, she would be indie wrestling, and everyone loved it because it's hilarious. And then it kind of died down, and now it's gone. And I'm kind of surprised at it, but we'll see what happens in the future with Indy. I think she put her with the right people, and I think she could be great on the main roster. Number 27, Sonya Deville. This is my after Raquel Rodriguez. This is the number 2 pick for me.
This was an interesting one because when I first saw it come out, I was like, because obviously this was my pick for the kind of little competition we had.
Sure.
But then it wasn't until I remembered that the Raw is 30 kind of segment she had with Bianca and Charlotte, where she was like, I haven't had my chance. Where's my time? Like, and I thought, wait, could they? But I'm guessing they were just doing that to maybe throw people off to thinking, wait, is Sonya going to come out and win this because she had that segment with the 2 champions?
Possibly, and she was my second pick to win the entire thing, and it's kind of sad that she
in it. It felt like she was in it longer.
It did.
3 eliminations though.
Sonya Deville, I'm not going to say she's underrated because fact is she's on TV almost every week. Yeah. And so she's in a really good spot, but I wouldn't mind Sonya Deville having she's great at being a bad guy. Yeah. And so having one of those really big bad guy moments in winning the title, I think that'd be great. But again, this might be where a mid-card title would come into play, and that way you get the payoff of that kind of storyline. We'll see though, because now, everyone's fighting for basically 2 championships, right? The 2 top championships for the women's division. So
but technically 1, because as soon as Charlotte loses it, she's probably going to get it back again within 6 months.
Number 28, Shotzi coming out in a little tank.
Like what? She's brought that back, hasn't she? Was that the first time we've seen the tank again? Because I think Vince Vince didn't like it, so Vince wanted her to get rid of it. So they got rid of it, and then I think once Hunter took over, she was like, Hunter, I want the tank back. He was like, yeah, fuck it, bring it back. If that's what you want, bring the fucking tank back.
It's just so interesting to take away things that really put people over.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was no reason for Vince to get rid of it. Like,
Karrion Kross, let's take away everything and just put you in a weird outfit, in a samurai outfit. It's like, what just happened?
Just kills them. It kills their kind of push and kills the heat that they have. Or
Number 29.
Listen, I know this business, all right? You're going to let me run this business.
Number 29, Nikki Cross coming out. Okay, so Nikki, interesting career. I think another wrestler that deserves more, but hasn't really quite gotten there yet. So we'll see some point, but no, unfortunately, no chance that she was going to win the Royal Rumble. And then finally, now in our little group chat, I was joking the entire night, basically, like, this person's gonna come on number 30. And
I can't believe they only had 29 entrants in the Royal Rumble. It's crazy. You wouldn't have expected it.
At number 30, with a surprise to everybody in a botched entrance.
Yes.
Nia Jax came back.
She's that fucking bad that they couldn't even do her entrance. They botched her entrance. That's how bad. I know it's not her fault, but it's her fault. That's how bad she is. She couldn't even come out properly. But they play her entrance before the countdown's even finished. Oh, useless.
It was
fucking useless.
Confusing. I think everybody was a little bit confused as to what's going on. But Nia Jax came back, and I was joking, like, man, there's a lot of people in this ring right now. They need somebody. Imagine how funny it would be if Nia Jax came back. And then Carnage, of course, we were in our little voice chat, and he said, if Nia Jax comes back, I'm leaving. And that was the last we heard of Carnage for the entire night. Her music
shut down. I was in bed.
Her music hit. Carnage left. He just got out of there, and I don't blame him. What's hilarious?
It's such a wasted spot.
So what is hilarious? What is hilarious about this is they played up to it. And I don't like Nia. And I think a lot of people don't like Nia. And I think Nia knows a lot of people don't like Nia. But they played up to the fact that no one likes her. And during the match, they were just kind of like, she was like, what are you guys going to do? What are you going to do? You going to try to eliminate me? And then they had every single woman in the ring.
Yeah,
just toss her out. So she was out of the match very quickly.
1 minute, 57 seconds.
Exactly. Less than 2 minutes in that match. So she was out of there. And so they're playing up to this whole, like, we hate this person type deal. So Nia Jax is going to easily become the person that can get somebody over.
No.
Here's a pretty good tweet I saw about it. Nia Jax, who nobody wanted back, barely did anything tonight, coming out in a wasted number 30 spot, except walk to the ring and get eliminated. Word on the street is she still injured 3 people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The thing is, right. I hate Nia Jax. She's probably a really nice person. I hate her wrestling. I don't hate her as a person. Like, I'm going to say lovely lady.
Well, she's a COVID vaccine denier and a vaccine.
She's an she is an anti-vaxxer, so
of course she is.
Which was a big deal during the COVID era.
It's so wasted. Like the way that they made her come in like as if she's this big monster. Like, no, you're useless. You're terrible. Get out of the ring. You're unsafe. You're boring. You don't have one singular memorable match that I can even remember. I don't even remember any of the matches you've been in, apart from ones where we have injured people, which is a lot of fucking matches. Just leave. You're not. No, go. Fuck off.
So, silver lining. She was eliminated quickly, and also, like I mentioned, I think she's going to become the person if she's still with the company. Even I mean, it could have just been a one-off.
Please be a one-off.
Could have been a one-off scenario, but if she is back, like I said, she is going to become the person to enhance other talent. In the fact that they will just have them beat her, and they will go over. It is a very easy get this person over technique,
which is all well and good until she injures them, and then they're out for 6 months.
No one said they need to be hard matches.
Look,
it just said they need to get in the ring. As soon as
she steps in the ring.
You know what? Give me Nia versus Charlotte just out of spite for the championship.
Them two went off on each other, didn't they?
I know. WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Championship match. Charlotte, Nia, give it to me. Just out of spite.
And then bury Nia and then never see her ever again.
We will see if she is here to stay. But the overall winner of the Royal Rumble, a very good pick. Yep. Just not one of my picks, but I think she was like number 3 or 4 for me. But Rhea Ripley who came in at number 1, ended up winning the entire Women's Royal Rumble. So very interesting. Both the Royal Rumble matches. Well, both the Royal Rumble matches had the number 1 spot and basically ending the Rumble. Rhea Ripley winning hers and was in it for quite some time.
An hour and 1 minute.
And killed it.
She did really well.
She did. So now I'm curious as to who she's going to challenge, because she has faced Charlotte in the past at WrestleMania. And so does that mean she's going to go after Bianca?
I was going to say, where are the Judgment mainly based at the moment? They're Raw, aren't they?
Yes.
So I guess Bianca, but I think has Bianca not still got some unfinished business with Alexa? But
possibly.
I don't know. That's an interesting one. But she's what, the fourth person to enter the Rumble at number 1 and win it?
The Women's Royal Rumble?
Yeah, she's obviously the first woman to win it at number 1, but I think she joins 3 other men.
So I think Rhea Ripley is a great pick. She has had already quite the career and has more to go. She's quite young.
And the whole mummy kind of,
that's so funny.
Say that.
So we'll see. This is all assuming that Charlotte and Bianca even stay champions through WrestleMania. They could very well not, especially when we got Alexa Bliss kind of doing her thing. So it'll be interesting to see what the payoff is there. But congrats to Rhea. Great match, great everything throughout, and
great ending as well. I thought they nailed the ending really well. Yeah,
you are right. It was Asuka, Rhea, and Liv, final 3. I don't recall who the 4th person was at the end, but I know they were the final
Sonya?
3.
No, was it Sonya?
No. But I do. They were all at the outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Asuka goes for the mist. Rhea ducks out of the way. Liv eats the mist. Gets all over. It's blue now, by the way. Blue mist, which is kind of cool. I like the color of that. Rhea sweeps the leg, eliminates Asuka. Kind of gets back in the ring a little bit. Liv is blind, but somehow lands a code breaker on Rhea. Rhea hangs on for dear life, and then eventually lifts up and uses her legs to whip Liv Morgan out and eliminate her.
Something I noticed when Asuka got eliminated, there was no anger there. There was nothing. She was laughing. And the cameras picked up on that a lot, just Asuka sitting there laughing at it, which I think was great.
I also think that she's just having a great time.
Oh yeah,
but I think she's just playing up onto this kind of crazy kind of character, the kind of the murder clown as she was known as. So I think that's kind of a good thing, her laughing it off or kind of crazy laugh.
Who knows?
Just going crazy or crying.
Maybe Asuka will win the Raw Women's Championship before Mania.
I'd love
from
to see
Bianca,
that.
And then you have Rhea versus Asuka. Who knows? That would be a match to remember.
Yeah, it really would be.
Asuka would lose, but it'd be Asuka. I think Asuka. Now, of course, I don't know Asuka personally, but I think she is in a point in her career where she's okay with that.
Yeah, she's 41 now, so
wow.
I think she's going to start winding down, maybe.
Possibly. I'm sure she has, her own personal life that she'd like to enjoy, but
she's got a YouTube channel, very good YouTube
she's
channel.
still so good. I personally, whenever we get to this point in someone's career, I always just want one more good run before they hang it up. But
this is why I'm wondering if she's gone back to this kind of gimmick as her end. She's kind of done this in her first part of her career. Now she's ending with it.
It'll be a sad day when Asuka
100%.
retires. So that is the Women's Royal Rumble. Congratulations to Rhea Ripley. That was a great. I'm trying to decide which Rumble match I liked better, and I can't really.
If Nia Jax wasn't the number 30, I think the women's would have done it for me. But I think the women's is always harder to predict who's going to win it,
and that's what makes it so cool.
Yeah.
And you kind of don't have that same mystique with the men's Royal Rumble. Everyone kind of has their theory, but the women's is kind of always up in the air, which is kind of cool. And shout out to the women's division. They always put on a pretty good Royal Rumble match, and I've enjoyed it.
Killing it for a very long time.
I've enjoyed every single one, I think. Even the ones where it's 95% legends that have no chance. You know what? This is okay. The predictable route, at least in between, they're giving you these people to just make you happy, you know?
I mean, I guess, is that credit to Triple H as well for, like, instead of going just down the easy route of bringing legends back to going, actually, do you know what, let's give these NXT girls a go.
Yeah, it is. So lastly here, we had our main event, a match that I did not think.
No.
Never mind.
We had the Hardy performance.
We don't want
Now, I want to touch on this because I have some issues with it. One, the audio was terrible.
Yeah,
like you could not hear the drums for shit. The singer,
that was
like,
just. I think that was just the music.
But the singer, it was like he was in a karaoke room when like the mic is just way too louder than the actual like backing music. So like he was just super loud compared to something else. And then you had Pat McAfee in the background, started singing it as well.
And they never cut his mic.
No, and then I think they either cut his mic or someone backstage was like, "Shut the fuck up." That was just weird. I don't think it was necessary. Like, considering they were cutting the like wrestling matches just to then have this. Like, they could have given us an extra 4 or 5 minutes on the Bray Wyatt match and cut that. Fuck the performance.
Well, they can't really cut the music performance.
Yes, they can. They're WWE. They can do it.
No, they can't really cut it because they probably have a contract that, yes, you could use our song. However, you know, you have to allow us to do this. Okay, whatever. So they can't really cut that. So they do have to make up the time elsewhere. But I will say that musical performance was not very good. So
I quite like the song though. The song was quite catchy.
I guess he might just not be a live performer.
I like it that WWE going down more the kind of rock route again, as opposed to doing like the hip hoppy dance kind of bollocks. I think rocks fits so much better in wrestling than what kind of dance music does, or R&B or pop. Personally,
I prefer no music. I prefer just going and showing me wrestling because all that served was kind of as a bathroom break for me.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean
no
like
offense to any musical performers, you know, but
when they cut promotions and stuff.
I remember specifically at WrestleMania 28, you know, I saw Flo Rida, and it was just like, okay, moving on. And like, we're not here to see Flo Rida, we're here to see The Rock and John Cena. So why are you giving me this thing?
Do you know who I'm surprised we didn't see in the men's rumble?
Who was that?
Bad Bunny. I know he was in last year's, but they're pushing him to be like the pre-order thing for the new WWE 2K23 game. So I was surprised they didn't put him in it just to promote the game.
I guess so. I mean, he might be busy though.
Well, yeah, true.
So it's a matter, I feel like sometimes it's not a matter of I'm surprised they didn't put them in it. It's also a matter of this person might not have the time to do it. And Logan Paul had the time. He's like, yeah, I'm available.
They should have. Why didn't they just make Logan Paul the pre-order instead of Bad Bunny? I'm pretty sure like that would have probably got more buys than Bad Bunny.
I don't know.
Personally. But.
So the main event of the night, something that surprised me that this was even the main event, was for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. In a hard-hitting match, though I wouldn't say a short match. Roman Reigns is absolutely
20 minute match.
Roman Reigns is absolutely insane, and I think he is probably the best main eventer the company has seen probably ever. And unfortunately, Kevin Owens did lose the match, which I don't think anyone really anticipated Kevin Owens to win. And I think the bigger story here is what happened post-match.
Holy shit.
Holy is right. So post-match, we did see basically what everyone has waited for. After handcuffing, which I don't know why Paul Heyman was carrying.
I happen to have 2 sets of handcuffs with me at all times, Tribal Chief.
Yeah. It was a little weird, Paul. But after handcuffing,
prior to that, though,
go ahead.
There was a spot when they put a chair on Owens' face, like they put his head literally inside the chair, and they had Solo run at him at the turnbuckle. That made me super uncomfortable because if he'd have botched that, Owens was done. He was gone, decapitated, the works. Like, get a body bag, he's done.
I mean, the chair. I don't think so. I think the chair would have been fine.
No, that was risky.
I think it was fine, but that move leading up to the getting handcuffed to the ropes, both arms, 2 handcuffs apparently.
Yep. Yeah.
And Roman Reigns wanted Sami Zayn to basically take the chair and beat him up after Zayn had been telling Roman, hey, you don't need to do this. This is beneath you. Things like that. Mm-hmm. Reigns is like, you know what? You're right. It is beneath me. Take this chair and beat up Kevin Owens. And instead of beating up and hitting and destroying Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn does what everyone wanted to see. And to probably the biggest pop of the night, took the chair and hit Roman Reigns in the back. The mics
what I love about
blew
that chair
out.
shot.
The mics blew out in the arena. The crowd went absolutely insane, and it was a chair shot heard around the world. Similar, actually, to
Shield.
The Shield chair shot.
It was like a mirror. That was like a mirror
It
chair shot
was.
to the Shield.
Roman's got to stop turning around while he hands someone a chair. Because that's the second time that's happened. I'm sure they'll reference it in the future.
The way that Reigns reacted to it as well, it was exactly like how he reacted to, was it Rollins that hit him with the chair? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. When he got hit by Rollins, I feel like he was took more damage.
Yeah.
So it kind of shows how Roman Reigns is now, right? He got hit in the back, and it was just more of like a shocking, like, you did not just do that to me. But a huge pop from the audience. I mean, even we, in the voice chat were like, oh, it's happening. And the mics blew out for a second. I mean, they redlined. You can hear it. If you watch any preview or any VODs of it, I mean, it was deafening in that arena. And then Sami Zayn promptly got beat up. First with a super kick from Jimmy, and then Solo come in with that spike, and just getting beat in the alley.
Those super kicks to Kevin Owens were big. They kept just pummeling him with those super kicks, man. Chill, the man's already dead.
Yeah. So they just kept attacking. So rewinding a little bit here, they just kept attacking Kevin Owens until he couldn't. It was kind of tough to watch, but they just kept going and going, and for good reason. And they've had an issue with Kevin Owens this whole time. And that's what led Zayn to be kind of concerned and kind of progressing the story. So thoughts? Let me hear them. What are your guys' thoughts?
The biggest thing that I took from that was the whole Jey Uso angle, where him not getting involved, leaving the ring. Like, wow. Like, where does that go? First and foremost, where the fuck does that go? Like, Jey, not getting involved. Clearly, Roman's going to be pissed at that. Jimmy's obviously now in an awkward position because his brother's just refused to attack Sami and leave the ring. What's happening to the bloodline? Are they disbanding? What's happening?
I'm not sure. And all I got to say is hats off, because this story has kept me on the edge of my seat for over a year now.
And I'll be the first to say I was not a big fan of this. I hated the bloodline. I thought it was boring. I thought it was dull. But holy shit! I think it's mainly been ever since Sami started to get more of the mic and started to get more airtime. It's actually really started to kind of like, oh shit! I want more bloodline. Give me more bloodline.
We talked about this last time. Yeah, you were kind of a hater at first, and I told you I loved it, and I'm glad I stuck to my guns, and it's been paying off quite nicely. We'll see how they wrap it up possibly at WrestleMania, but I don't know what they do right now. I mean, I don't really remember too vividly, but in the beginning, was it Jey who was hesitant to join the bloodline, or was it Jimmy?
I always get them two mixed up.
Earlier on, I did too. And so I don't recall, but it was very interesting to see Jey be like, you know what, maybe this is not the right thing to do. He walks out and confuses, Roman and Solo and Jimmy, but they just continue to beat up Sami Zayn.
I think Raw is going to be very good this Monday. I'm super looking forward to Raw.
That is a good point. Raw on Monday could be, it might answer a lot of questions that we have. I think what we are leading to, though, is kind of that initial plan of maybe Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Imagine, right? WrestleMania, the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Rollins. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Usos lose their title. Then Roman Reigns loses his titles. Now, after one or two nights, the Bloodline's done. They lose all their titles. Would WWE do that?
Maybe. Or do they push it for another year or so? I don't know. That's
risky.
I'm at the point where I feel like I need to stop guessing and just enjoy it, because
I feel like this is a really good time to be a wrestling fan.
It's been a good time to get into it, because I'm the useful idiot. I'm the guy who has no real background with it, but it's been a good time to start picking things up and learning, and it's been a lot of fun to sort of get into it. It's like when they do I've compared it to comic books before, where it's kind of hard to get into because of so much backstory and so many retcons and this and that. But this is a good time to start.
100% agree. 100% agree.
I think,
and I think it helps you as well, because you've got so many people around you who like wrestling. So I think when you have that, it's so much easier to get into something, because you've got those people who are enjoying it around you. So you can kind of then start to get into it.
I'm quite excited. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want out of the storyline. I don't know what they're going to do out of the storyline.
I hope they don't Game of Thrones it.
Mm-hmm. We're just gonna have to wait and see.
For the build up, and then fuck it up in the last season. Like that last part, don't fuck it up.
I think what we're gonna have to do is just take a step back, not worry about the future, and enjoy what we have right now, which is the best storyline in wrestling history. I don't care what anyone says. This has been the best storyline in wrestling history. They could probably, and they should probably, come out with a compilation of all the stuff leading up to this. Make it like an hour or too long. I'd watch it. Just put it on YouTube. All the stuff leading up to this. It's like a soap opera. It's amazing. It's like watching a movie.
Major credit to Sami Zayn. Major
credit to all of them, because
Sammy has brought me in from absolutely hating the storyline to absolutely loving it and wanting more. That's
Sami Zayn, Jey Uso with his amazing. I mean, I don't know where these guys are learning how to act, but they are pulling it off. And even Roman, I mean, on, what was it, last Monday when they had the trial?
The trial.
I got scared when I was watching it, and he's like, Solo. I was like, oh my God, they're sending the man after me. Like, I got terrified. Man, they're just all so good. And I love it. It puts a smile on my face. And I'm so happy that people like it. And they're doing, this is one of the first times that I could say that I think they're doing an amazing job of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
This is what everyone wanted since day one. They didn't want that, babyface, haha, whoever Roman. They wanted just Roman to be Roman, and then kind of see where it goes from there. And it turned into this.
And wow.
Something. So that is the Royal Rumble. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to add about the Royal Rumble? Overall, pretty meh, in my opinion. Meh matches in between. I thought the Rumble matches were quite good, and the main event was good. Yes. Especially the ending, 10-minute segment or whatever it was. But
I mean, we're so,
a solid B pay-per-view.
Yeah. So used to being disappointed with WWE PLEs. But this one, other than Nia Jax, I was like, I went to bed happy.
Now, did you actually turn off everything after Nia Jax came out, or did you?
So I turned off everything. I went downstairs, had a little sprinkle at the little boy's room, and then I came back up and I turned it back on, and she was gone. So I was like, right, I can watch again. But I couldn't be bothered to turn on my computer and everything again. So I just sat in my pants and watched it on TV.
Stu, what did you think of this Royal Rumble?
I enjoyed the Rumble matches. I thought the Bray Wyatt and the matches in between were pretty lackluster, but I get that they feel the need to do it. Main event, good. I liked it at the end. I was a mark. I was just like, yes, hit him with the chair. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It was a good time. I liked. It was nice going back to a good Rumble after seeing the worst Rumbles. So it's fun.
Those chair shots, though. There were some big chair shots that those landed on
big chair shots. Yeah,
they stung.
I would have to give this Royal Rumble a solid B. If the matches in between were better, it would have been a great Royal Rumble. Solid A tier. I think the main event saved it, and I think the Rumble matches themselves, especially the women's, saved it. And I wish and no one has to agree with me, but I wish Cody Rhodes was a surprise entrant.
Yep.
Rather than a shove down your throat entrant. But I'm excited to see where they go. Yeah, I am excited to see where they go with both WrestleMania Royal Rumble winners for WrestleMania. I'm excited to see where they go because Cody Rhodes, we know he's going to challenge Roman, but how's it going to work out, especially with Sammy in the mix? And Rhea Ripley, she can kind of challenge whoever she wants. So excited to see where it plays out. Pretty good Royal Rumble. Pretty good Royal Rumble. Elimination Chamber is next. It looks like on the road to WrestleMania.
And I'm sure that's in Sammy's hometown, by the way. So
that is
something quite interesting there.
That might be. They might just give everything. They just might do it all there. Yeah. Actually, that's a great point, and just give it all to Sammy and Kevin. Who knows? And I guess before we sign off here, again, I did look at the forums a little bit this morning. Looks like The Rock may or may not be in the cards for WrestleMania, which is surprising to me, because that was kind of the whole thing. They wanted to do Roman Reigns versus The Rock. At least that's what the rumors were saying back a couple months ago. Roman Reigns versus The Rock, which makes sense. You got the tribal chief, the head of the table, but you also have The Rock, who is The Rock, right? And The Rock is never going to acknowledge somebody, and that would have been a great match, but it looks like that might not be happening.
I mean, the only way they could possibly get around that is if night one just have Reigns lose both titles to Cody, and then night two or night one, The Rock comes out, blah blah blah, or they build it up prior, and then night two just have The Rock versus Reigns as a.
I don't think that would ever happen.
It would feel rushed, to be fair, and I don't think they should do it.
They're not going to. So with it being WrestleMania, they're not going to not promote the main event. So whatever the main event is going to be, it's going to be beforehand. The only exception I can think of right now is Daniel Bryan in 2014 at WrestleMania 30, which apparently, if you listen to what they say online, they made that decision 3 weeks before the WrestleMania. Who knows if that's true? But perfect. Well, that has been the Royal Rumble recap. Join us next time, where I don't know when the next episode is, but we'll get one out there, and we'll do some more stuff. So I have been Beby, that's been Carnage, over there is Stu, and this has been this wrestling podcast right here. We will catch you folks next time. See you later. Toodles.